Peace, peace, peace. This is a touch in this one. Shout out to everybody, all the viewers that's in the house thus far. Um, I probably will be looking at the chat in a minute. Actually, I'm just gonna just touch on a few things. I don't know, for some reason, I don't know. I don't normally watch the news, but for some reason, like I've been like, I just keep hearing this shit about this immigration caravan. And I done some research on it prior to the last video I made, and I just see that this shit is keep on getting a momentum as far as from political people. And this morning I was listening to Amy Goodwin, or Amy whatever her name is, from Freedom Now. She actually be on WBLI 99.5 if you're on the East Coast. And I was just listening, man, and I was hearing how a lot of all right, let's just put it like this, right? Let's just understand this first of all, right? I'm not racist against anybody. I think I just want my race to prevail just like anybody else, which my race is the Aborigines, the copper color Aborigines of this land, which been getting mistreated since the Europeans first arrived. So I'm only for my people. And like I said, for anybody who came here that signed paperwork, whatever hell you might be experiencing, you signed up for it. So that's on you. America or United States, let's know, because there's only one American here, and that's us. That's the copper color race, okay? None of these other people are American. It clearly states you cannot, the Europeans are not American. Europeans are United States citizens. If you left your land and came to this land, and you're not in a time, mean you're not an indigenous person from the soil, you are a fucking United States citizen, okay? So now what's going on? So they say that they got thousands of so-called people that's headed this way from South America, okay? And what these people is using, they're using the same shit that, understand this, outside of us, everybody else in this country is a illegal or immigrant. And I'm gonna say they all illegal anyway, because none of them asked the indigenous people, can they come here? They came here with the people who conquered this land from us. All right. So until you ask the people who house it is, can you be in their house or whatever, then you will be considered illegal, whether you come with the people who took the house or you came after the people. However it go, you still will be considered illegal. So what's going on is this, right? You got a lot of people who keep on using that. Oh, America was built on immigrants and America was built on immigration and all this other shit, right? This is what people is rocking off of, right? And that's not true. That's not true at all. The Aborigines built this motherfucking country. You understand what I'm saying? First, but it wasn't nobody here when the slaves was here. So let's just go to the census real quick, all right? So this is 1790 to 1990. This is the United States, race and Hispanic origins of the United States, 1790, 1990. It's one of my favorite census that I like to use. You got total population, and then got from the time from 1990 all the way to 1790. You got white, black, you got American Indian, Eskimo, Asian, Pacific Islanders, other race, Hispanic origins of any race, white, not of Hispanic origins. All right, so boom. So let's take a look at this. All right. So here, look, we're gonna go right here. We're gonna start at 1890. Okay. Now you see, we've been here the whole duration of all this shit. All right, let's go to the black column. See the black column? It's the black column. All right. So let's go 1790. We was here. And like I said, it was bigger numbers than that. That was only the couple. That was only the places where they did the enumeration process, which it was only in a few states. Most of the 13 states, they wasn't even going in certain states, because the certain states was not conquered, and it was not safe for them to be in it, because we were still warming with the Europeans, right? So in 1790, you see, we was here, right? You don't see none of these other people here. You don't see no Hispanics here. You don't see no Latinos here. You don't see no Asians here. Look, this is Asians. You don't see no Asians. You don't see no Indians. You don't see nobody. Only people you see here is black and white people, right? And that's why I use this tool to show you that you don't see no Asian. Matter of fact, you know what? Real quick, let me just make sure y'all can hear me because I don't want to have to fucking repeat myself. Press one if you guys can hear me. Somebody press one, please, if you can hear me. All right, there you go. Peace, peace, Joe. Peace to everybody in the chat room. All right, so you see this right here, right? So 1890. This is the basically the Hispanic and Latino side, right? Other races. There was no other races here until when? You see 1940, right? Look, you see 1940. Now even here in 1930, you don't see no Hispanic. You start seeing the Hispanics around 1940 right here, which you see a large majority of them right here just came out of nowhere, right? You see all this numbers, and then they ain't have another count for them in 1960 or 1950, right? Now, when you get all the way up here to 1960, you start seeing millions of them in here, right? Now, like I said, this is in 1990. Now, if they didn't start, it wasn't none here in the beginning, but how did their numbers catch up with us? Because these motherfuckers wanted their numbers to catch up with us, right? Now, like I said, these people will say, "Oh, we built this country and we did this." No, 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 no. We didn't. They didn't build shit. You understand what I'm saying? And this is basically the law that allow a lot of these people to come here. You understand what I'm saying? Now, like I told you, they spend $134 billion annually for illegal immigrants to come here. That's reparations for blacks. You understand what I'm saying? And we need to start really pressing that shit because it's demand. And you see what happens is you got black people who feel as though, oh, I don't want them to give me nothing, or I want to work for my fuck that your ancestors work for, you damn idiot. So why do you feel like you have to work for? These people owe your ancestors, which they promised you 40 acres and a mule. 2018, where we have to be put on the same category as people who signed up to come here, right? And what they do is they apply that to gays, to motherfucking Latino, Hispanic, everybody who come in, they always try to black and Latino people together. You can't put black and Latino people together because Latinos was not here being hung and being lynched with us. But we always speak up for them. We always try to put them in our fight with us. Now we need to stop doing that. And I made videos explaining why we need to stop doing that. But Negroes just don't fucking get it. We just don't get it. We try to build our numbers up to against the so-called Europeans. But when they get on the European side, they flip the script on your ass. And we don't fucking understand it. We think all these people come. We think the more people come in here, as long as they not whites, it's benefiting us. It's not benefiting us at all because these motherfuckers who come here, they want to be white. They come here to join white people. They don't come. When we out here getting shot in the street, when we out here going through what we going through, none of these people out here protest with you. None of these people, they can give a fuck about what happened to you. Now, I'm gonna play this video from Bill O'Reilly. Now, I know Bill O'Reilly's a motherfucking racist. I know the bitch Ann Coulter. I know she's a fucking racist. Trump, if you want to say Trump is a racist, yeah, okay, all of them racist. And so are these motherfucking immigrants who come here. They just don't use the racism to oppress you. But part of the oppression is letting them come here and basically get a lot of the benefits that you're supposed to be getting. And like I said, we can go. Now let me just go here real quick. All right, so I like to show you guys this. So this is the U.S. immigration since 1965, right? Now you think about it, right? When was the civil rights movement? This was the civil rights movement, right? Civil rights movement was in 1965 as well, 1964, which they made laws in 1964 to protect us, right? Now, what was one of the components of the civil rights? What we was fighting for? We was fighting for jobs and shit, right? So my thing is this, right? Half of the people that they bring here, and you see this right here, right? When you see the civil rights, you see the fucking fucking faggot flag and shit, right? So it say civil rights law protects claim employment discrimination based on sexual origin. Now you see this, the civil rights law. Now this was for us. This is only for Black Americans, lesbians, no LGBT. This was not, but everybody want to use this law, and we don't even use this law because as you see, most of the fucking jobs discriminate against you right now, and you don't even know that they got laws to protect you that way you can sue these people, bro. If you go on a job site and they hiring people like of Hispanic origins and all this that and Span or all these Chinese Indians and all these other motherfuckers, they if you see these people on a job and then they telling you, oh well, they don't want to hire you or you have to basically be in a race with them, you can sue them. You don't even know that. You don't even know that the Civil Rights Act basically provides the EECO law is basically the law that allows you to basically get civil rights. Now, the civil rights was made for us. It wasn't made for everybody else. But if you're on a job site and you see like, yo, you got all these people, but you mean tell me I can't get hired? Oh no. We pick. They ain't supposed to be picking nobody over you. But this is what happens. We get caught right in the middle of these people coming here, and then you can't even get employment. Now listen, I'm not pro employment, but I'm pro survival. Okay, and I know that most everybody is not going to be a business owner. Everybody cannot manage or manage a job or manage a business or whatever. You see how some of us got bad business habits or whatever. But when I'm telling you, for the most part, as far as employment is concerned, if you got people knocking on the door, right now, let me see. Let's go to another thing. Let's go right here. I think I showed this in the last video. All right, so this is the Department of Numbers right here. So this is U.S. employment and jobs. It said there was 149,500,000 jobs in the U.S. in September 2018. So that's last motherfucking month. We still in October. That's last month. So it's 149 million jobs, right? Now, if it's 149 million jobs, right? If you bringing 7,000 more people in here, who jobs are they going to get? They ain't gonna get white people jobs. So who jobs are they gonna get? Who always low man on a motherfucking totem pole when it comes to jobs? Why in 2000 and motherfucking 18 I can go to Chicago and look and see that the unemployment among black men is almost 90 something percent. And it's not because they don't want to work. It's because they probably use discrimination. A lot of times when you being discriminated against, you look for jobs and then you can't get a fucking job because for the most part, you keep trying and eventually you just give up and you just tap out to what's easier, what's the best way for you to, you know what I'm saying, try to survive or whatever. And like I said, I go talk at the youth house. So I do my part. I go talk to the young brothers or whatever every Tuesday. I go tomorrow or whatever. And one of the things that I always push to the kids is like, you know what I'm saying, look, man, I'm not, like I said, I'm not you have to be pro education. You have to be educate yourself, at least to be on the same level as some of these other people to keep up with this society or whatever. Because the less you know is not benefiting you these days. So you have to be educated to a certain extent to where you want to learn. So I tell a lot of these kids, you know what I'm saying, listen, man, read books, definitely, even read the newspaper to see what's going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? So I tell them, I got a few kids that when they get out of here, well, actually in there, they took their GED. A couple of them got their GED early. So when they get out, they're going to apply for college. We trying to start a program in which we can get some of these kids to where they can be accepted for college. So as soon as they get out or whatever, they can be helped. And also what we trying to do too is trying to get these people that ain't trying to get some of the kids an ankle bracelet to where if they don't have serious charges that they can get out on an ankle bracelet and they can go get employment as long as, and this would be a better start for them as opposed to keeping them in there. You know what I'm saying? Some of these kids, they don't have parents and they don't have sufficient you know what I'm saying, family members. And so one of the things that I always talk when I go talk to when I go talk to the what's the name? I don't want to say warden because she's not a warden, but the lady, the administration of the youth house, I always tell them, man, like, you know what I'm saying, most of these kids, man, you need to get them a fresh start before they get out, not push them out, and you need to start the process now. Start the process now. Give them some type of intervention. You know what I'm saying? I come in there, I talk to them, but nonetheless, though, let's get with it because I got a few things I want to talk about. All right. So boom. So all right. So it's only 149 million jobs, 500,000 jobs in the United. This was in December. It's according to the CES survey of employees. All right. So these are how many jobs there is. So you bring in thousands of people here. Who jobs are they competing with, and who are they competing with ultimately? You understand what I'm saying? Now look, let's check this out. Here go some more statistics. Now, I think I showed you guys this the other day when I showing the statistic rate or whatever of like the last 20 years of employment among blacks. All right. So now look, this was when Obama was in, okay? This was the largest it peaked. This is 20%. Oh, well, 19.3, another 7 tenths will be 20%. All right. And this is in 2000 and fucking, this is in 2010. This is 8 years ago. All right. Now look, you go here. This is in 19, this is in 82. This is in 82. Look at the motherfucking, look at the rate. But yeah, you go here, right? We could go back here. And these people was bringing immigrants in. And then, so part of the Civil Rights Act was basically to give us jobs. Now, check this out, right? I'm going to read this again, all right? So it's Naturalization Act of 1965, also known as the Hart-Celler Act, abolished the earlier quota system natural origins and established a new immigration policy based on reuniting immigrant families and attracting skilled labor to over the next 4 decades. It said the policy put in effect in 1965 will greatly change the demographic makeup of American population. The United States under the legislation came increasingly from America as opposed to Europe. All right? Most of the people that was coming in here was European. All right. So let me read a little bit more of it. So it's the Immigration Act and Naturalization Act of 1965 by early 1960s call to reform U.S. Immigration policy has mounted, thanks in no small part to the growing strength of the civil rights movement. Now think about this, right? Now look, think about this, right? Why would they let immigrants in knowing that we ain't getting justice? Because they did that shit to fuck us over, yo. They did that shit to fuck us over. So now, prior to us fighting and rioting, now you could bring people in that ain't gonna have the same political, they ain't gonna oppose to the politics of the United States because they're gonna be looking at the United States as the people who basically allowed them. You think that when they come into this country, they sit here and worry about your ancestors being hung, or the 200 and some odd years we've been warring with them, or we've been fighting for just rights, and these people that came in burnt our towns. Now, none of these people experienced none of this shit. So you think they actually give a fuck about you? And when you out there fighting and you marching, no, they only give a fuck. Oh, let us in. We deserve to be in. And then you got other immigrants, like I said. We can go back to the census. I can show you the census. None of these motherfuckers was here. Just look, 1790. Look at this. None of these people was here. They just got here. None of these people was here in the early 1900s, man. None of them. It was only white and black. Now, you got some American Indians starting, but this is us too, right here, right? But Eskimo, that's Alaska. That ain't got nothing to do with America. Asian and Pacific Islanders. Look, in 1890, is only 100,000 of them, right? As opposed to, look, even it's Asians. Look, we go up to 1930. It's only 200. It's only 250,000 of Asians and Pacific Islanders combined, right? All the way up to the 1960s, there's only almost 500,000. But now you jump up to now, 1990, it's almost fucking 7 million of them. Now, none of these people, now we know a small number of these people fought, but look at the numbers that we got. We over here at 7 million, and you see how the numbers just keep jumping up. All right. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is that everybody sit here and try to rock with the fight and try to rock the fight that we put in here and try to say, oh, well, oh, the civil rights. No, no, no. You wasn't even there during the civil rights movement. It was only us. You understand what I'm saying? And one of the things is that, I got kind of mixed opinions about Martin Luther King, but for the most part, Martin Luther King said he going to go get his check. You understand what I'm saying? And let me see if I can find that video. Well, I'm gonna play the video in a minute, but I want to play this video. I got a few things I want to play. I'm gonna be out of here by at least 11:30. All right, so let me start. So it's saying, by the early 1960s, call to reform the U.S. immigration policy has mounted. It say thanks in no small part to the growing strength of the civil rights movement. Okay, the civil rights movement was only black people. Yeah, you had white people fighting for us, but it was for us only. There was no Hispanics or Latinos fighting for that. There was only us. Maybe a small amount, if it was any of them fighting for it. I don't in the crowd or whatever. I only see black people. When they show you Selma, they show you black people getting cracked upside their heads, spitting on and disrespected. You don't see none of these other people even in the fucking fight with you. But yet they come here and they benefit from it heavily. And the other immigrants that came here during this time, they sit there and say, well, oh, I remember trying to be a refuge and I asked to come to the United States and I was so right. And then, like I said, out of the 7,000 people, other people who watching this shit is just sitting back and they want to see how strong the United States is. They want to, because no other country you can do that to. No other country can people line up at the fucking border and force their way in, and then they could be bringing anybody. I'm criminal. I don't care if these motherfuckers are saints. That still don't mean they have a right. So you could come here and say, well, like I said, we're gonna touch on some numbers. So I'm gonna go through the numbers, all right? But it's saying no small part to a growing strength. At this time, immigration was based on national origins in place. 1820, under which nationality was assigned a quota based on its representation in the past U.S. Census figures. It say the civil rights movement focused on equal treatment regardless of race, nationality. No, it did not. It only focused on fucking fair treatment of black Americans, because we was the only people here who was getting mistreated. None of these people was here prior to this time. So how the fuck you gonna make something for the future for people when you still ain't take care of the people who the fuck the shit was made for? Now I'm gonna show y'all something. Check this out. So it says on equal treatment regardless of race, nationality. It ain't who said anything of race, nationality. They always try to use that Martin Luther King saying, you know what I'm saying, to try to make it seem like this shit was for everybody. It wasn't for this is smoking mirrors. They sent these people here because we was burning, rioting, we was doing all this shit in the United States. And like Phoenix Moon said, shout out to the sister, like she said that when Lyndon B. In the Housing Act, Lyndon B. Johnson said, yo man, you better give them Indians what they want. You know what I'm saying? Give them whatever they want. They burning down the cities. They destroying everything. So that's the only and because of Lyndon B. Johnson did that, that's the reason why black people vote Democrat now. Because Lyndon B. Johnson was the one who basically remembered how the Republicans was treating her. But Lyndon B. Johnson only gave it shit down. If you had done that under a Republican mayor, or I mean Republican president, the same thing would have probably happened. You understand what I'm saying? They still sent the army out there. You had tanks and shit riding down the fucking street. I mean, I don't want to show you because I got a lot of stuff up here to show or whatever, but you guys remember, you had tanks and shit riding down the street. So if we can go through that here in this country, a better place, at least for, let's say for some of us, because you do got a lot of blacks that benefit, and that's the problem, though. But listen, the numbers of statistics when it comes to blacks who live in the poverty system is still under 40%. Living under poverty, still under 40%. You know what I'm saying? And that's due to a lot of different moving factors. One of them is the war on drugs, which locked a lot of men up, and plus the Vietnam War, which made a lot of men fucking heroin addicts. And then you come 20 years later after that, then you give us the crack. I showed you what the numbers was when it came to the unemployment for us. What was we at? We was right here. So right here, 1982. Look at the numbers. You understand what I'm saying? Look at the numbers. 20% in 1982. Okay? 20 fucking percent. All right. And then they want to try to give you, now they want to try to say, well, it's under 6% right now. But that's not true at all. That's, like I said, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors when it comes to that, though. But also, let me take this into consideration, too. Let me just show y'all this. When I showed you guys this in the other reparation video, the couple reparations videos that I made or whatever, though. But like I said, this is basically saying how illegal immigration is a burden on taxpayers. All right. Now look, let me see. All right, here we go. Right here. I can read this right here. All right, here we go. So right here, it said the cost of illegal immigration. Let me open this up a little bit. All right. Here we go. All right, right here. It's at federal, and state, and local levels, taxpayers shell out approximately $134 billion to cover the cost of incurred by the presence of more than 12 million illegal aliens and about 4.2 million citizen children of the illegal aliens. That amount to the tax burden approximately is 8,000 per illegal alien family, and total of what's this, 15,894,597,664. The total cost of illegal immigration to the taxpayer is both staggering and crippling. In 2013, FAIR estimate that the total cost will be approximately 13 billion. So so in under 4 years, the cost has risen nearly 3 billion. This is a disturbing and unsustainable trend. The section below will break down the further will break down and further explain these numbers at the federal and state and local level. All right. So why are these people paying all this money for people who shouldn't be here? Why? But the thing about it is this, right? Like I said, they want to sit here and act like these people here been so honorable. No, motherfucker. Show people back in the 1960s what you was doing to us. Now you want to act 40, 50 years later, you want to try to act like, oh, well, we're not like that no more. Because you know why? You know why they're not like that no more? Because the majority of white people is basically ahead. And we know there's white people who poor, but that's not my problem. That's not my problem. I'm not here to be talking about caping for nobody else poor because you jumped on a boat and asked to come here. We didn't have, like Malcolm X said, Plymouth Rock landed on us. You understand what I'm saying? We didn't ask these motherfuckers to come here. So whatever trouble you experiencing, that's on y'all. I'm not here to fight for you. I cannot speak. I'm only here to speak up for the black aborigines, aka black Indians who've been classified as African American. I'm only here to fight for them. I'm not here to be caping for nobody else. I don't see nobody else when it comes to my people. That's it. This is not a kumbaya section. This is not this is not a motherfucking United Nations or some type of rainbow coalition. No, the Thompsons one is just here for black aborigines. Okay, that's it. I'm not here for nobody else. That's it. And like I said, you got enough people out here that's for everybody. Your Cory Booker, your Kamala Harris, your Al Sharptons, your Jesse Jackson. All these people are here for everyone else. All right. So let me just show you something. Let me just see something real quick. We're going to play a couple videos real quick. Just bear with me, y'all. And like I said, I'm not caping for nobody. You at the border, you need to turn your ass back around and go back and take that shit to your country. And then these sorry bastards that do come here from other countries, the problem is this, right? The problem is this, that these motherfuckers don't go back and help their fellow members out. They come here and stay here and they just forget all about, you know what I'm saying? They come here, they come here and forget all about what the fuck happened. Now check this shit out, right? Let me see something. All right, here we go right here. So they don't want you to hear this shit right here. Let me play this. Let me play this shit right here.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents.
Now, real quick, they created college curriculums to teach them how to farm. Who the fuck you think taught them how to farm? I'm waiting. Who you think taught them how to fucking farm? Oh, Africans from Africa knew how to come here and fucking and farm on this land? No, 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 no. Who was the farmers in the South? Oh, black aborigines. So they learned everything from you, then took your fucking skills and created a curriculum to open a college up and teach fucking Europeans that was coming. So understand this, right? For the first 200 years, all right, even coming out of so-called slavery or whatever you want to call it or whatever, all right. You had blacks that was fucking doing their motherfucking thing, but because you had these racist ass European, now most people want to say, well, fuck, let me get stick my point. Because you had these racist ass Europeans that was jealous and they was living in poverty, they would round up and then come in and burn your whole fucking town down because one white bitch would sit there and fucking lie and say somebody was raped or something to that effect. Now I know you probably saying, well, Thompson is one. If you know it was the Europeans, well, why you have a problem with the immigrants? Because they the ones who pushing these people to come here. They the one who created the fucking right. Do you understand what? Do you understand? They make it comfortable for these people to come here. You understand it? And the only reason they making it comfortable because they don't want to fucking pay you. That's the reason why. So you think we wouldn't even have a problem with them if these motherfuckers would have gave us what Martin Luther King said? We wouldn't even have a problem with you bringing these people here because we'd be sitting back drinking daiquiris, hiring these motherfuckers. You understand what I'm saying? I'll be hiring Jose and Hector and them to be fucking doing my work. You understand what I'm saying? But unfortunately, no. They brought these people here, and they make these people they same situation as you, and they don't have the same anger for the system as we have. See, we got anger for the system. That's the reason why people always tell you, well, once you get shut up and just work and keep your mouth shut, because part in our DNA, we just can't do that. We just can't do that. We gotta remember. And the motherfucker always say, oh, you don't never, all you want to do. And see, it's easy for an immigrant that came here, that escaped his oppression where he was from, that got up and did some cowardly shit. You just got up and left your fucking culture where you from. And that's not all immigrant, but I'm just speaking from a broad. So if anybody who watching my channel, I mean, who rock with me like that, you know, I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about from a broad or whatever, right? You know, a lot of people, some people was in situations to where they had to come here. But these motherfuckers got brand new cell phones, brand new fucking jerseys, book bags. They look like they doing good to me. They just want more. They just want more greed. And that's what it is. That's what the United States show people when they put your ass up there and show you with all this stuff, sneakers and new haircuts and everything. That everybody in the world is attracted to that. And everybody want to come here and emulate that same thing. But what I'm trying to tell you is, this is it right here, the immigration naturalization. This is what 1765. Why would they send when, I don't know when King made this speech, right? Let me see, hold up. Let's keep it moving.
Further their expertise in farming, not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farm. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are scaring people, telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. This is what we are faced with.
Now listen to this.
And this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington at this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
Wait a minute. It didn't disappear. You might forget Martin Luther King was assassinated in April. The Poor People's Campaign was supposed to go to Washington in April. So the organization that mobilized it was essentially decapitated and thrown into chaos about 3 weeks before it was supposed to happen. Those organizations were being, as I said, once the civil rights acts were completed, that was it. The government was through with us. They're not interested in restructuring. There has never been any interest in restructuring the economy for the benefit of the poor. I don't know where you're going to talk about the bonus, army, go back to Shays Rebellion. I mean, this is like the no-no. You know, this is a capitalist society. It's built on inequality and avarice in many ways.
Now we go back. Let me play a little bit of this too right here.
This renowned mathematician by his car drive time using the smartest online tools. No, he was almost.
They play all these fucking commercials and then try to flag my channel. Look.
That the problem of racial injustice and economic injustice cannot be solved without a radical redistribution of political and economic power. We read one day, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But if a man doesn't have a job or an income,
now he didn't have a job or income. So if he didn't have a fucking job, like I said, even right here, smart man. That's why his reparations are nothing no, man. Right here. Immigration and Naturalization Act of 1965. If you did not have enough jobs for the people who've been here for the last fucking 500 years who landed it, why would you bring more people here? Why? Why would you bring more motherfucking to undermine us? That's why. Now let me play some more of this, man. Like people be cooning on Martin Luther King, but guess what though? This man was murdered, man. Regardless of what you may feel about him, regardless of what people, all the propaganda, oh, he was sleeping with women and all this, that, and the third, you ain't willing to lose your life the way this man did. You ain't willing. Most of us is fucking cowards. But we sit here and this man died behind this. His brother was killed in the pool. His mother was killed. This man died behind this shit. But we sit here and say, well, Martin Luther King was a coon and a sellout. You motherfuckers ain't saying nothing. You niggas go along to get along, okay? Well, let's play some more of this.
He has neither life nor liberty, and the possibility for
Let me put it right
he
here.
has neither life nor people that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But if a man doesn't have a job or an income,
Look.
He has neither life nor liberty, and the possibility for the pursuit of happiness. He merely exists. Estimated that we spend $322,000 for each enemy we kill in Vietnam. about $53 for each person classified as poor. The promises of the Great Society have been shot down on the battlefield of Vietnam, making the poor, white and Negro, bear the heaviest burdens both at the front and at home. The other thing I want you to understand.
Now you heard who he said, the poor, white, and Negro. He was not fighting for none of these other people because they wasn't in this country. So why would they undermine us and bring all these other people here? And you never took care of the economic. You never made us economical sustain, because you paid a couple of these Negroes off, and then the Negroes who sit there who had an opportunity to get the good jobs and had an opportunity, they the ones who say, well, I don't want no reparations because fuck that. I don't want them to give me nothing, because they don't know among the other people who wasn't fortunate to get it. Okay. I just showed you the numbers. There's only 149 million jobs available. So that means somebody's not going to get work. So you can't speak for the other million or so more. I mean, listen, and who you think going to win, or who you think on the low end of them numbers? Black Americans, okay? Because they could easily make 20 million of us not get adequate employment, and then they go your unemployment rate right there. And that's the reason why. It's not because you don't want to work. We've been working from the day that these people came here and fucking started their bullshit off. Not to mention all of the fucking cities we had. Not to mention how they came and burnt down the city. So the shit that these people that's running to these motherfucking borders went through in their country is the shit that we went through here. And we had to fucking fight and change this fucking system. But yet we want to sit here and these people automatically feel as though they obligated to come here, when they just made a law in 1965 for these people to be even accepted here in this motherfucking country. Now let's play some more of this, man.
Is this. And it didn't cost the nation one penny to integrate lunch counters. It didn't cost the nation one penny to guarantee the right to vote. But now we are dealing with issues that cannot be solved without the nation spending billions of dollars on a radical redistribution of economic power. Yeah.
Here go your billions of dollars right here.
You are reminding not only Memphis, but you are reminding the nation that it is a crime for people to live in this rich nation and receive starvation wages.
Look.
America's opportunity to help bridge the gulf between the haves and the have-nots. The question is whether America will do it. There's nothing new about poverty. What is new is that we now have and the resources to get rid of poverty.
Now check this shit out. Okay? Now look. Let's look at this. Because all this shit is related. Everything I'm showing you is all related, dealing with the history, all up until now, to when these people end up on this motherfucking border, yo. All this shit. You see this shit right here? Look, it say just before his assassination, the Southern Christian Leader Conference staff retreat in May 1967. Reverend Martin Luther King said, I think it is necessary for us to realize that we have moved far from the era of civil rights and the era of human rights. It said we see that there must be a racial distribution of economical and political power. It said we see that for the last 12 years, we have been in reform movement that after Selma and the voting right bill, it say we move into a new era, which must be an era of revolution. In short, say we have moved into an era where we are called upon to rise certain basic questions about the whole society. Say last year, it say later that year in December of 1967, Martin Luther King announced his plan to bring together the poor people from across the country for a new march on Washington. It say the march was to demand better jobs, better jobs, better jobs. Who you think better jobs is for? Us. And we still fucked up in 2018, but yet they want to bring more people here. And we sit here because we think that, no, we had a journey to get this far up among us, okay? So these people need to do the same fucking thing we had to go through. Not just make it easy for these people just to jump over the fucking border, come here, spend 20 years in fucking 20 days in detention, and then after 20 days they release. All right, now it say this march was to demand better jobs, better homes, better education, better lives. It say than the ones they were living. Okay, now check this out. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this, and I'm gonna show you what Bill O'Reilly said. Now I know Bill O'Reilly's a fucking racist, but fuck it, what he said, it made sense.
The real question is whether we have the will. At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farm. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. This is what we are faced with, and this is a reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we're coming to get our check. I come here tonight and plead with you. Believe in yourself and believe that you're somebody. As I said to the group last night, nobody else can do this for us. No document can do this for us. No Lincolnian Emancipation Proclamation can do this for us. No Kennisonian or Johnsonian Civil Rights Bill can do this for us. If the Negro is to be free, he must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with the pen and ink of self-asserting manhood his own emancipation.
Now he said the Negro. He ain't said, oh, Latinos and Hispanics and Jews and Indians and Chinese. He ain't say nobody else. He said motherfucking Negroes. He only speaking for us. Okay. Now the Poor People Campaign did mention some Europeans or whatever. But like I said, this is before they brought all these other people over here. You understand what I'm saying? Now, even at that point in time, a lot of the it was probably Puerto Ricans and living amongst us. It probably was a very small majority of them, but most of them was considered to be black too. So they wasn't even on the same wavelength as it is now, where they created that term Latino after 1965. Now I'm gonna play a little bit more of this, and the reason, like I said, man, let me see what's going on, man. Let me see. We got 119 people, man. Please, people, hit that like button, man, so this can be a trending video. Please share this video as well. I don't ask you to share most of my video, but we gotta start getting this shit out, yo. We not with this immigration shit. We not with this bring more people here until you take care of us first. Okay, fuck that. I'm not satisfied with what I got. I want my motherfucking reparations. I want my free land, so I ain't got to fucking because as long as you got to pay for land, and long as you got to fucking pay for rent and all this other shit, you gonna be working for the rest of your motherfucking life. You understand what I'm saying? As long as you got to pay these people for rent on your own motherfucking land, and I told you that's what all this shit was created for, to basically undermine you, man. It was created to undermine you. Why would they? If Martin Luther King was going through this and they had the Poor People Campaign here in 1967, why did they make that law the way they brought immigrants here? Why didn't they say, well, look, let's get a Negro at least 15 years to get ahead before we start bringing other poor people here from other countries that's going to compete with them. Because understand this, man. Even though you see people here now, they try to show you that these Indians and all these people come here like they so much smarter. None of them smart enough. None of these motherfuckers was going to college like that when they got here. They all this shit, this college shit they get started, all started from like the 1990s until now. Because I remember the Negro College Fund. They wasn't even letting anybody go to school for free like that. Like now, how you get all these grants and all this stuff, you wasn't even able to go to school like that before. So now a lot of these Indians, they started saying, well, boom, boom, let's get on a technical, let's take advantage of the tech. That's the reason why they always doing computer science and all that, because they found they found a part of the system to get in. We never had a part of the system. Our part always been athletes, fucking entertainers. You know what I'm saying? They basically stop you because all, like I said, man, the agriculture system was created from the black Indian. These agriculture colleges that they got, like Texas A&M and these A&M colleges or whatever, agriculture, and I forgot what the M stand for, but a lot of these these colleges with A and are agriculture colleges. And who created it? Who taught the European how to fucking farm and how to do all this? I'm waiting. Oh, the black Indian, aka the African American. That's not an African. That is really the Aborigine of this fucking land. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna play some more of this, man. We're gonna get deep with this shit. Now look, before I even go with that, let me see something. Let me just show y'all something. Let me see something. Hold up. Where was that? Right here. Boom, boom, boom. All right, here we go right here. This is what I wanted to show y'all. Read a little bit of this real quick. All right, so this poverty in Black America. All right, it said according to 2014, which is 4 years ago, the U.S. Census Bureau, the ACS studies. See the chart below that 27% of all African American men, women, and children live below the poverty level, compared to 11% of all Americans. Now we're all United States citizens because we are only the Americans here. And say an even higher percentage, 38% of black children live in poverty compared to 22% of all children in America. The poverty rate for working age black women is 26%, which consists of women in ages from 18 to 65. That's almost all of the working class people. It's higher than that of any working age black men, which is 21%. They say the poverty rates for black families vary based on the family type. They say while 23% of all black families live below the poverty level, only 8% of black married couples live in poverty, say, which is considerably lower than the 37% of black families headed by single women. They say who lives below the poverty line. The highest poverty rate 46% are for black families with children, which are headed in single black women. Single black women. It's a dissignificant, considering more than half of 55% of all black families with children are headed by single women. Now check this shit out. All right, and it's not because niggas leaving them. That's not the fucking truth. Now here go your status right here. Right. See this right here. Percentage of families in poverty. Blacks, and this is all U.S., 22%. Children under 18, blacks, 32%. 18% for everybody. Married couples, 82%. 5% among other people. Children over under 18, 10%. 8% for everybody. I'll say for females with no spouse, 37%, and 30% amongst everybody else. I say with children under 18, 46%, 40% among everybody else. Male with no spouse, 23%, 19% among everybody else. It say children under 18, 31%. Now, if you only, according to what they tell you, 11% of the population, why are you always the highest when we've been fighting for this shit for the we've been fighting for this shit the whole fucking century? Why are our numbers still incredibly low? Because you brought these fucking immigrants here. That's why. And now they use a racial system to where you can't even fucking find a job. And they try to always put, oh, blacks and Latinos. Hold up. It wasn't no Latinos here when Martin Luther King was fighting. And look, we can go ahead. Let's prove it. Let's prove it. Okay, 1960. Here we go. Now it says a million, but that's spread it throughout the whole America. Okay, that's spread it throughout the whole America. So that's less than. We don't know what the percentage of how many people was total. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's see total population at that point in time. We can say it right here. So total population is 131,669,275 people that was in America, right? Now check this out. Among those, 1.8 million are supposed to be Hispanic. So that's less than 8.8% of the people who was here. You understand what I'm saying? So, and us, we at 12%, we have 12 million. So that would put us a little under, like around like 11 point something percent of the total population. The rest of the population was basically white. And you don't see too many Asians or American Indians or other races. Okay, you see a very small number of other races. Okay, now when you come up here, 1960, they don't even have a population for so-called Hispanics and Latinos. But you see that they had 9 million right here in, I guess this will be the 1970s, all right? Because it say 1970s and it doesn't have no other. So I guess this would be 1970. So all these people came here after that motherfucking Immigration Act, okay? Now you see what the numbers is right here, okay? You see what the numbers is right here. Other races, it's only 218,000 people of other races that was here. Now look at the numbers in 1990, okay? Because these people were just coming here after that 1965 Immigration Act, okay? Now, I just showed you that. Now, let me see something. Let's go back here. All right. So it says individual compared to all poverty. Now you see the green, the dark green, or you want to say Kelly green. This is called Kelly green. The Kelly green is black. The rest of it is all U.S. So this basically putting you upon all of the other demographic people, among all of the other cultures and races, among all of the other people. We 27%. Okay, look. Now look. See this shit? See this shit? Okay, but this is so funny because we was the only people here. They never gave us our shit. But we still a low man on the totem pole. So who the fuck you think when these people come in, who it's going to affect? Who is going to affect? But you got these stupid ass fucking black Democrats who the only reason you're a Democrat because Lyndon B. Johnson passed the motherfucking Housing Act, and then you felt like you jumped on a Democrat. No, they only did it because we was riding and tearing this motherfucker up after King got killed. When they killed King, we was riding and tearing this motherfucker up. So therefore, whatever president was in office was going to fucking pass it. Okay? Now, Let's look at some more. So look, we're gonna go ahead. Boom, here we go. This is perfect right here. This is gonna put me where I need to go right here. And like I said, I need to be out of here by 11:30. So I got a fucking midterm exam today. I gotta come back and study. I need to go give me a quick little workout, and I'll be back. You know what I'm saying? Do my little study before my little midterm exam, which is on 6 chapters of fucking accountant class, man. And it's not tough. It's just a lot. It's not no multiple choice. So like I'm not like when ain't no multiple choice, man. I gotta study extra hard because I need to know. And then sometimes you overstudy because some of the stuff that you think that's gonna be on the test that's not even on the test. All right, so let's get with this. All right. So the U.S. Census Bureau records historical poverty data among American families using the current population survey. The annual social and economic supplements, it's a chart below. It say in 1967, when King made that poor people speak, it said about 1/3, 33% of all black families live below the poverty level. Now, listen, it was not no single black women back around that time. I mean, unless you want to say that the brothers that was coming back from the Vietnam War, but I think the Vietnam War was around that era right there. So that the Vietnam War really didn't affect a lot of us. But that 39% is basically the majority of them people was married. Okay, it say live below the poverty line compared to to only 11% of all families in America. It say by 1990, the disparity gap between the two remained virtually the same, despite the slight decrease in the overall poverty rate for both population groups. During the decade of 1990, while the nation was experiencing an economical boom, the poverty rate of black families dropped from 29% in 1990 to 19% in 2000, virtually cutting the disparity in half. The economical downturn in the decade from 2000 to 2011 caused by the increase in black family poverty rate to 24%. Since 2010, the black family poverty rate began to decrease slightly, reaching 23% in 2014. However, the disparity has remained relatively unchanged since 2000. In 1967, more than half 56% of all black families headed by single women, if they live below the national poverty level, compared to 33% of all families in America headed by single women. During the decade of 1990, the poverty rate of families headed by single mothers dropped from 48% in 1990 to its lowest point, 34% in 2000. The economical downturn in the decade from 2000 to 2010 increased a black family poverty rate of 39% by 2010. Since 2010, the black family poverty rate decreased slightly to 37% by 2014, although the actual disparity between black single mothers families and all single mothers families have always been lower than that between all family types. The adjustment, increase and decrease in disparities over the decade has been fairly similar. All right, so here we go right here. History of poverty in Black America. You notice this is the reason why I pulled up Martin Luther King, because it's basically giving you the 1967 until now, right? So 37% drops. 1975, 27%, went back up. 1990, 29%, went back down to 19%, went back up to 24% in 2010, and now it's at 22%. And I don't see, they don't have no numbers for now, but it's basically telling you now this is the rest of America, including all other demographics, including Chinese, Indians, Hispanics, Latinos, and everybody, okay? Why you think that out of all these people, we got our own, they got us separated against all these other people? Now, this is not saying people. It's not saying minorities or people of color. It's saying Black America. Okay, so you see that, all right? And you telling me this shit ain't set up for us to fucking lose, all right? Now check this out. Now we're gonna look at some more statistical. Let's look at some more statistics. It say as the chart below shows, that considering only black families with children who live below the national poverty line, a vast majority of 78% are headed by single women. It's and that look that 78% headed by single women. There's more families that have single mothers leading them than there are families that marry. Now, if I pull up the statistics of how many black people is married, and then you got to take in consideration of how many of them people that's not married have a spouse or whatever, that you probably not legally married, but you do live with a spouse that do provide. You have to take in them numbers as well. Now say headed by black single women, it's saying just 13% are headed by married couple families. Only 9% are headed by single fathers. Now check this shit out. Black families with children living in poverty. Look, 78% headed by single mothers. All right, now you just got to look at how many black people got families. How many of them families have single mothers? How many, according to like, because it's going to be within the millions. So you have to see how many of them people, how many children live below the poverty line. Now remember, a lot of these single mothers are because of the fucking feminist movement, because of the war on drugs, because of the war in Vietnam. So it's been a trickle effect for us. And people saying, well, why is there so many single mothers? Because this shit it been a number of factors. Remember the welfare, to where if you wasn't married, you'll get more food stamps. That basically smashed us. When you see the movie Claudine or whatever, you see how she was getting the welfare. She didn't need no fucking man because she was still doing good anyway or whatever. They get set us up, man. They set us up for failure. That's why it's reparations or nothing else, man. Ain't no voting for no fucking jobs. Ain't no voting for no economics. Ain't no holding no arms with no Hispanic Latins. About time we need to start getting our shit right and start fighting for us, because none of these people was even here when they was lynching us and hanging us. None of these people was here. These people just got here in 1965. So the whole time when you had Rosewood, you had Tulsa, Oklahoma, you had the civil rights, the bus march, all this shit, it wasn't none of these immigrants shit like that. It was only white and black. That's it. I just showed you the census. I show you again. Let's look at it again. White and black. Look, 1960. There's not, let's count. Let's count right here. 1960, right? Now, this is among American Indians. Check this out real quick. Let me use my calculator real quick. I'm about to calculate this, so just bear with me, y'all. So among 1960, there was 523,591 so-called American Indians and Eskimos. All right, now remember, some of the American Indians was us. So we're going to plus that by Asians, which is 877,934. All right, now let's plus that by other races, which is 218%. 218,087 people. Right? All right, so let's go 1960. So I'm going to guesstimate. I don't know exactly how many Latino Hispanics was here because it's not giving you a number. But I'm just going to guesstimate, because you see right here in 1940. Now you see prior to 1930s, you don't see none of these people here. So 1940, let's guess that. And remember, these people you see are people who was coming from South America that was coming across the border. These are not people. It might have been a small majority of people who might have been a few Cubans, might have been a few, but the majority of people was coming across the border. All right, so let's say it was, I'm gonna roughly say 3 million, right? Let's say 3 million. All right, so the total count I got is almost 5 million people total, with all other races and ethnicity. So that's Indian, Chinese. There wasn't probably no Indians here at that time, but Chinese, Hispanics, the Indians. You don't see no Africans on this fucking race chart. You don't see no you don't see nobody else. The only thing you see is Hispanics, Asians, Pacific Islanders, American Indian, black and white. Okay, so I said we've been here We've been going through this shit since 1790, man. You see this? Nobody will say it. These numbers right here, you start seeing them jump up after 1860, small numbers of them. But we fucking got these people by tens of millions of people. I mean, by millions of people. All right. And like I said, there was no Hispanics like 1890, 1890. None of these people. So these people come in here with their handout for something that they ain't got nothing to do. They ain't fight for shit. They ain't come here and get the only thing oh, we want a better life. But a better life is just coming. You just cross a border and get free benefits. Here go your free benefits right here, just in case if you don't believe me. The total economic impact of illegal immigration. Total number of costs, 134,863,455,364 people. All right, so taxes paid. So they paid 18 billion to $18 billion in taxes. Who gives a fuck? Because it's still an overall $18 billion. It's still 116 billion that they dish out for that fucking small ass 18 billion of taxes paid. Okay, so like I said, man, you see this right now. Look, check this out. It say federal government spends a net amount of 45 billion on illegal aliens and the U.S. born children. That's why they be having all these fucking children. They have you kill your children and go to these motherfucking chop shots and fucking and kill your motherfucking children. But they inspire these people to have more children. Okay, now look. I said this amount includes an expenditure for public education, Medicare, and justice enforcement, initiation, welfare programs, and other miscellaneous costs. It also factored in the merger amount illegal aliens pay in the federal government in income, Social Security, Medicaid, and excise tax. First of all, they ain't paying no Social Security because if you're illegal, you don't have no rights to pay into none of this shit. You shouldn't even. How the fuck do you get a job and you're illegal? How? How do you get a job and you're illegal? And we look at the statistics and we look at how many black people still don't have jobs. Okay, so like I said, man, I care less how anybody fucking feel. They motherfucking kiss my motherfucking ass. I don't give a fuck. I only care about my people. That's it. Because these people asked to come here. You signed paperwork to come into a burning motherfucking house, nigga. And now shit, and yo, you need to fix your fucking house, man. You niggas come here. You fly your fucking flags or whatever. You show you show us your countries and you thinking all proud about your country, but you got up and left your countries. These niggas was lynching us. These niggas was running down on us. These same crackers that's in power now, who are descendants and ancestors of these people who did this prior to, they was lynching us. They was running in towns, burning down town. They was doing all fucking shooting up, hanging people, feeding children to alligators, and all this shit. And you sitting up here worrying about some motherfucking people at the fucking border. You just listen. Like I said, it might be fucked up, but at the end of the day, that ain't my place to be trying to fix nothing. Because these people is evil all around the board. And the thing about it is this, right? When these motherfuckers who ask to come here, they don't come here to fight for us. Now, if they was to come here and really fight for us, they only use us for their political, because they don't have no power in this country. They have no history of oppression in this country. So therefore, they try to always say, oh, black and Latinos and Hispanics. No. Let's go back to Martin Luther King, man. Let's go back to this, man.
Don't let anybody take your manhood. Be proud of our heritage. As somebody said earlier tonight, we don't have anything to be ashamed of. Somebody told a lie one day. They couched it in language. They made everything black, ugly, and evil. Look in your dictionary and see the synonyms of the word black. It's always something degrading and low and sinister. Look at the word white. It's always something pure, high, and crazy. But I want to get the language right tonight. so right that everybody here will cry. Yes, I'm black. I'm proud of it. I'm black and beautiful.
What is the relationship between this and the reality of the Negro masses?
Well, to leave Martin out of it for a moment. Martin's very rare, very great man. Martin's rare for two reasons. Not because just because he is, and because he's a real Christian and he really believes in nonviolence. He's arrived at something in himself which limits him, allows him to do it. And he still has great moral authority in the South. There's none whatever in the North. Poor Martin has gone through God knows what kind of hell to awaken the American conscience. But Martin has reached the end of his rope. There's some things Martin can't do. Martin's only one man. Martin can't solve the nation's central problem by himself. There are lots of people, lots of black people I mean now, who don't go to church no more and don't listen to Martin, you know. Anyway, are themselves produced by civilization, which is always glorified violence, unless the Negro had begun. So that Martin is undercut by the performance of the country. The country is only concerned about nonviolence if it sees that I'm going to get violent. There's no worry about nonviolence if it's somehow down the Sheridan.
What do you see deep in the recesses of your own mind as the future of our nation? And I ask that question in that way because I think that the future of the Negro and the future of the nation are linked.
They're indissoluble.
Yeah. Now, what do you see? Are you essentially optimistic or pessimistic? And I really don't want to put words in your mouth because what I really want to find out is what you really believe.
Well, I'm both glad and sorry you asked me that question. I'll do my best to answer it. I can't be a pessimist because I'm alive. To be a pessimist means that you have agreed that human life is an academic matter. So I'm supposed to be an optimist. I'm supposed to believe that we can survive whatever we must survive. But the Negro in this country, the future of the Negro in this country is precisely as bright or as dark as the future of the country. It is entirely up to the American people and our representatives. It is entirely up to the American people whether or not they're going to face and deal with and embrace this stranger whom they've maligned so long. What white people have to do is try to find out in their own hearts why it was necessary to have a nigger in the first place. Because I'm not a nigger. I'm a man. But if you think I'm a nigger, it means you need it. The question you've got to ask yourself, the white population of this country has got to ask itself, North and South, because it's one country. And for a Negro, there's no difference in North and the South. It's just, you know.
Now look, man. Let me just keep it moving, man, because you're about to really go into some real motherfucking gangster shit. But let me just go on another note before I start playing these other videos, and then I'm gonna end it. All right. So basically, right here, right. These are the racial disparities and homelessness in the United States, right? So say African Americans make up more than 40% of the homeless population, but represent 13% of the general population. Okay? Okay? Oh, fucking K? Now look at this. Homeless populations, two or more races, American Indians, Native Hispanic. Man, we know the American Indians are a very small population. We know that we the real Indians. We know black. I'm gonna just put this for people watching it. The African American ain't African. We are the Aborigines in North America. We are the copper color races found here by Europeans. We are the first motherfucking Indian or the Aborigines or the indigenous people who was already here. We was enslaved in our own land, classified as POWs, prisoners of war, and we was moved all up and down the shore of Terra Nova. Okay, now that I got that out the way, let's keep it moving. All right, homeless population, right here. See this? See this? Okay. Why do you think we the biggest out of all these people? Why do you think of all these statistics I'm showing you, we are the motherfuckers always the one who losing? Why? Why is it black people just that fucking is that fucked up to where we the highest, and when we go right here to poverty, we live in the most in poverty, okay? Now I say public assistance, they're trying to put you right here. Now look at this right here. See this? I'm showing you at least one program, 41% or whatever. Now it's saying household participation in SNAP, which is Supplement Nutrition Assistance Program, food SNAP, which is a farm bill. Okay, the farm bill. Now check this shit out, y'all. Check this shit out. The farm bill is the bill in which pushes the SNAP. What did Martin Luther King first start off with? Agriculture, right? But the farm bill is what pushes the food stamp, because, and then like he said, how they was giving all these people all this money, all these white farmers, they was giving these niggas millions of dollars every fucking year so they don't produce a certain amount of food or whatever. And this is what they was doing, right? So it's saying out of all the people who get food stamps is 9 million white people, 5 million black people, Hispanics, you got Asians, Native American, multiple races, unknown, okay? But like I said, these people asked to come here. So if you would create a better system for the people who was poor, it wouldn't be this situation. But they want it like that. You know what I'm saying? They want it like that. You understand? And we don't understand that as people. All right. Hold on. Let me see. Do I want to read this? No, I don't want to read that. Let me see. Do I want to read this? Let me see this real quick. Nah, y'all see the statistics, man. Let's go back into this right here. The racial disparities among homeless people. All right. So you see what it is. You see that out of all, we make up 40% of the homeless people. Okay. We make up 40% of the homeless people. So out of every 10 homeless people, 4 of them are black Americans, man. Okay? 4 of them are black Americans, people who are indigenous to this motherfucking landmass. Okay? And that's what the whole thing is about, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they give all this money to these illegal immigrants to come here. Came here despite have enough jobs or enough resources to take care of the people who you should have took care of first, and then you start bringing all these other people, and all of it's dealing with this Immigration and Naturalization Act of 1965. Okay, like I said, man, this is all smoke and mirrors. There's only 149 million jobs in America, okay? With the exception that people got to Uber. You got people who got to fucking come home from work, and then single mothers got to go fucking Uber and all this other shit. Nah, you owe us reparations. If you can give illegal people who shouldn't be here fucking $134 billion in fucking assistance, you need to fuck. The bag should belong to us, man. This bag should belong to us. All right. So, you heard Martin Luther King. Let me see something. And that's another thing. That Democratic bomber, you niggas think that shit just ironic that he sent all these bombs. This nigga let me show y'all something with this motherfucker. This nigga had a Trump van he had a van with all Trump stickers on. That's some shit that these people yo, let me tell y'all something, man. These people think we are fucking dumbasses, man. We just think we just believe any fucking thing they put up there. Okay? Like I said, this nigga was a motherfucking, I don't want to say patsy. It might have been an MK Ultra, might have been somebody been programmed, MK Ultra programmed to do that or whatever and take the fall so the Democrats can make it seem like, oh, he was a Trump supporter. Well, Trump is winning. Trump is the fucking president. So why would somebody even be worried about some motherfucking Democrats? Why would somebody go through the trouble to say, oh, because he was following Trump? And that's another thing. You got all these people, like I said, listen, let me tell you something. I'm not pro none of these Europeans. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Bill O'Reilly supporter. I'm not one of these videos I'm about to show you. I'm not an Ann Collier supporter. Okay, I'm only for the Aborigines. But these people is speaking because this shit, this whole immigration shit, is undermining Black Americans and stopping us from getting where we need to go. Okay, I just showed you the statistics among people living in poverty. We just seen the people living in poverty. We just heard Martin Luther King, what he said, showed you the racial disparities in homeless. African Americans are more up, make up 40% of the homeless population. So that in Skid Row, in all of these towns where there's people who are homeless, who you think that shit is? Hmm? Who you think it is? Okay? Let me go ahead. I'm gonna read just a little, read a little bit of this, and then I'll start playing the videos, and then I gotta get up out of here. All right. It's a study. Anti-black hiring discrimination is as prevalent as it was in '89. All right. Now here we go. But you going Spanish and Latino signed paperwork to come here. You signed up for it. So whatever fate you are going through, we've been here for the last two fucking. We here forever. This is our land. We home. So the shit that we facing is because of white supremacy, okay? But they try to make white supremacy among everybody when it's not. They try to make it so, oh, well, black people it's just no. It's everybody. No, it's not everybody because these people was nice enough to let you come here. Now, okay, let me read a little bit of this, all right? Now it say Americans are racist as they were back in the late 1980s. It say at least in one crucial area, jobs. New studies by researchers in the Northwestern University, Harvard, and the Institute for Social Research in Norway looked at every available field experiment on hiring. Discrimination from 1989 through 2015, the researchers found that anti-black racism is no in hiring is unchanged since at least 1989. It said anti-Latino racism may have decreased moderately. It say they looked at the two kinds of experiments, resume and people order. It say in the first research sent out resume with similar levels of education, experience, and so on. It say, but the names differ. It say so some resumes have a stereotypical black or Latino name, and others have a stereotypical white name. It say in the second applicant go in person to apply for a job. It say they each share similar qualifications, but some are white while others are black and brown. Now listen, let me tell y'all something, okay? I see more Latinos working than I see blacks. More Latinos than Hispanics. So understand, I'm not pro these people neither. Okay. When you go on most of these job sites, what is they asking you to speak? Oh, you need to speak Spanish. You need to they lying. They just trying to throw Latinos up in there, but Latinos asked to come here. When Martin Luther King was fighting for the poor people campaign, he wasn't fighting for these because these people wasn't even here like that. But now all of a sudden, that's why we gotta separate ourselves, man. We got to, but you can't because you got too many of these coon ass niggas, your Al Sharptons, and all these people who want to include these people with you. Instead of them sitting up there saying, well, damn, hold up. White supremacy brought these people here to undermine us. You sitting here fighting for these people, and when these people get ahead, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. These Latino cops are racist as fuck. These people in these systems are racist as fuck. I don't give a fuck, man. And it is what it is, man. All right. Now look, just remember when do mention Latino, I'm talking about blacks. Okay. It's saying the total, the researcher, because understand it. If these people wasn't getting no jobs, then why all these motherfuckers coming here for jobs? Who jobs do you think they get? They're lying. They're trying to make it seem like, oh, it's other people, but they really only talk about black people. Okay, a Rodriguez to get a job faster than a Jackson. You understand? And they trying to lump us all up in one fucking bucket. But nah, you can't lump us in one bucket because these people owe us reparation. We not the same as y'all. Latino countries need to go holler at Spain and Portugal for their reparations. Okay? We still under the same fucking thumb of the people who came here and did what they did to us. All right. So it's saying in total, the researchers produced 24 studies with 30 estimates of discrimination for blacks. I'm gonna say, I didn't mention Latinos. Say completely representing that more than 54,000 applicants submitted for more than 25,000 jobs. I mean, 54,000 applicants submitted for more than 25,000 positions. It say they concluded that on the average, white applicants received 36 more callbacks than equally qualified African American. And see, now they want to say African American. It say, while white applicants received an average 24% more callbacks than Latinos. All right, so that's even. That just dropped down a whole 12%, meaning that Latinos get the same amount. Well, they got a smaller percentage. It say they. So that's basically telling you that they hire Latinos at a higher rate than they hire blacks. It say they also found no evidence of changes over time in rates of hiring discrimination for black people. It say with anything but a slightly possibility of a slow decline ruled out by studies with Latinos. The evidence indicate a possible decline in discrimination, although this trend is outside the conventional level of significance, meaning the data isn't statistically sufficient. I mean, sufficient enough to draw a solid conclusion. All right, but still, in all, why would they be doing this shit now? At all. Like after all the shit I just showed you, but we see the numbers. We see the numbers. It says black hiring. They ain't even mention Latinos in it, but they had to throw them in there. They had to throw them in there just to make it seem like, oh well, we ain't the only people. No, they've been doing this shit forever against us. They've been doing it forever against us. So fuck all that bullshit. All right. So now let me just play. Let me see something. Let me see, where was it at? All right, it's this one right here. And fair use, man. Fair use. Fair use. For anybody to flag my fucking channel, because these people love to flag people shit. All right, so let me just play this.
Casey wrong. Find out why at incorrectbook.com. But in Hungary, they passed a law. They nicknamed it Stop Soros Law. And it says that anyone found to be facilitating illegal immigration, including by assisting non-governmental organizations that help migrants seek asylum, faces up to a year in jail. Soros was doing the same thing in Hungary, trying to open the borders so that people fleeing the Middle East and North Africa could come into Hungary. Now, the Hungarian government, which is a right-wing government, stopped that cold, all right, and then passed a law to prosecute Soros. Now, if Soros goes back to Hungary, he was originally a Hungarian national. He's now an American citizen. They could arrest him. Okay, so that is what's in play, I believe. Now, I don't have proof because we can't see who's funding Pueblos Sin Fronteras because Honduras is not going to release them. But I know.
And just once again, before you motherfuckers start putting the chat, Bill O'Reilly is a racist. All these niggas is racist. I concur with you. All of them are racist. But guess what? I'm not going to cape for a group of people who signed paperwork to come here. We need to deal with our people first. We need to get our back. You can't get your back if you constantly mentioning everybody else. You can't bring, just like my man made a statement. He was saying how he used to go over his friend's house and try to hang around during dinner time. And sometimes his friend moms used to say, "Well, look, man, we don't have enough food for you guys today. Maybe next week you can come and eat dinner with us." And he had to go home. You understand what I'm saying? Nah, he had to say, well, you know what? If you don't give me no food, then I'm staying right here until you do. He couldn't do that. He had to respect what they were saying, and then he had to go home to his own house and go home and eat. All right, and this is the shit that's going on now. So let me keep it moving.
That somebody's funding this march because it's an environmental disaster, by the way. I mean, picture 7,000 people walking 2,000 miles. They have to use facilities, they have to eat, sleep, and, all of this is fairly well organized. It's not like a bunch of people said, hey, let's go walk 2,500 miles from Tegucigalpa, Honduras to Laredo, Texas. Not like that happened. Now, the timing, as we discussed, is for the midterm elections. That they're hoping that Hispanic Americans will see this and vote for Democrats who want open borders. And they do. Now, I asked my staff to research whether any Democrat, anybody, was asked, how would you solve this problem of 7,000 people trying to get into the United States for asylum? Nobody asked it. No press person asked it. As far as we... Now, Joe Biden gave a speech, no solution. Trump is the devil, Trump is this, Trump is that. Trump's solution is, he says, he's going to move the U.S. military regularly to the border to stop people from seeking asylum. What you have to do is in a port of entry. If you are a foreign national seeking asylum, you yourself have to go up to a U.S. border person or an ICE person and request it face to face. If you do that, they have to process your application for asylum.
Now listen to this, y'all.
What President Trump is saying is that he's going to put the military between the migrants coming and the U.S. Border Patrol officials. They're not going to be able to ask anybody for help. That's the only way to stop it, because we have arcane immigration laws here. And that's why President Trump blames the Democratic Party. He says our immigration laws are crazy and antiquated, but the Democrats won't change it. But there's more to that, because the Republicans will not either. All right? President Trump's had almost 2 years to get legislation passed. GOP controls the House and Senate. But he hasn't been able to because Republicans themselves, some won't support a border wall or changing the immigration laws. It's not just the Democrats. Now, the president says he will cut off some aid to Honduras and Guatemala and El Salvador because those governments have allowed people to come to the USA. I think the number is close to $500 million a year. Yes, $500 million a year for those three countries in 2017. So it's a lot of money.
Now, y'all heard that, right? Now check this shit out, right? Let me show you something real quick. Let me just show you the numbers. Now it said, think of it like this. It says the tax burden approximately $8,075 per illegal family member of, you know what I'm saying? Now check this out. Now look, how many people they saying is at the border, right? They saying there's almost 7,000 people at the border. Now who knows how many people is actually there? But let's do a rough amount. 7,000 people. So 7,000 times 8, let's say 875 equals, that's 56,520. Matter of fact, hold up. Yeah, okay, all right. That's 56,525 thousand people that where they gonna be getting extra funds, because you think that these people gonna be able to come here and find work initially, or are they gonna have to go through welfare? Now, for decades, they've been complaining about you on welfare, but yet they come and give people free. They let anybody come here that's living poor. They can just come over here, and then, like he said, they process you for I think 20 days, and then they release you. Now let me see something. Let me find that other video that I was looking at. What was this one? Let me see something. Just bear with me real quick. Let me see something. Hold up. Let me just play this video right here. Now, this is what Trump was saying. Like I said, I'm not pro-Trump, but I damn sure didn't want Hillary Clinton to win. So I don't know who. I don't know what other fucking what other candidate these motherfuckers gonna get. Because like I said, it's not about me. I'm not a Democrat or a Republic. I don't care. I don't care about the two wings on the same bird. I'm not for none of that shit or whatever. But as far as these idiots, who you think they was gonna get? Now check this out.
Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, they paid a lot of money. Every year we give them foreign aid, and they did nothing for us. Nothing. They did nothing for us.
And he said they do nothing for us.
Tremendous amounts of money. You know what it is? Hundreds of millions of dollars. They, like a lot of others, do nothing for our country.
And like my man said, well, he said they don't do nothing for us, and he give them millions of dollars, right? But what happens is this, right? These people send money back to their country, and every time that they send money back to their country, these countries get a fee of them sending money. So they actually make more money from their people sending money over there than they get from the United States. That's why they don't care. Now check this out.
We have people over in Saudi Arabia now. We have top intelligence people in Turkey. We're going to see what we have. I'll know a lot tomorrow. They'll be coming back tonight or tomorrow morning. But we have people in Saudi Arabia and people in Turkey. Are you Mr. President? I think it's a long time. You said they want a month? That's a long time. There's no reason for that.
Mr. President, what about your promise to protect transgender Americans? Are you giving up on that?
We're looking at it. We have a lot of different
looking to redefine it.
Concepts right now. They have a lot of different things happening with respect to transgender right now. You know that as well as I do, and we're looking at it very seriously.
What about your promise to protect?
You know what? It's another video that I was looking for. The video when he's sitting down and he telling them he not letting them in. And like I said, man, people get mad. You know what I'm saying? They get mad at Trump, but Trump making a right move, man. How you gonna have open borders, man? And there's only but so many resources here, man. Like I said, my people fought hard for anything that we got, man. Yeah, I might not be the one who fought hard, but fuck that. I gotta use this opportunity to speak up for what my ancestors did here, because no one else going to speak up for it. So, my people fought hard for us to have the little things we got, which you see that 40% of Black Americans are homeless. You see that we lead in every poverty fucking statistic there is, and yet we still lose. And yet they give illegal immigrants who don't even need to be here $134 billion a year. Now let's play this this racist bitch right here. Let's play her. Well, hold up. No, that wasn't. This one, right? Hold up. Is it this one? Hold up. Let me see something real quick. Oh, it was this one right here. It was this right here.
Hi, I'm Doug, and I'm selling my BMW car. What features does it have? All of them. All of the luxury.
They see how they make you watch these fucking videos. They see how they make you watch these videos. Now listen.
We're not showing wall-to-wall video of that Caravan itself, because whatever you think about the people in it, there's no evidence they are, as the administration is suggesting, some kind of invading army infiltrated potentially by terrorists looming on the U.S. border.
The idea that we are under threat from these poor, desperate people is just absurd. I mean, it is just the bottom of the barrel politics that he's engaged in.
Well, those dismissals come as new reports tonight that yet another caravan is forming, originating in Honduras. As for the government's response, yesterday's Washington Post reporting there's a sinking feeling among the Department of Homeland Security officials that more caravans are yet to come and that they will only get larger. But to the left, this is nothing more than a scare tactic. Maybe Trump is even forming the caravans himself. Well, at least according to Morning Joe.
This caravan that Donald Trump keeps talking about, that Fox News keeps talking about, that people on the right keep talking about, is some last-ditch, desperate, sad, pathetic effort to, again, use white people, non-white people, to try to scare white people into voting for Republicans. It's over 1,000 miles away. By the way, what? They're over 1,000 miles away, and they, what? Wait.
Just some babies?
Wait, they may not be here until December. Wait, what?
Oh my God, that's so not funny. Suzanne Coulter, author of the new book, Resistance is Futile, How the Trump-Hating Left Lost Its Collective Mind. And do you think the left here think that we just shouldn't be concerned at all about a massive caravan barreling toward the U.S. border? Do they think it's just a political hype job from the president, or a combo?
Well, they definitely want these caravans to keep coming. They've been coming a long time. That attack on white people being, and that's what we're afraid of. For one thing, this country is barely majority white anymore. We're still a country, though, and all of the people in this country, again, barely majority white. I don't know how much longer they can keep up this taunting of, ooh, scared white people. We're allowed to decide who comes in and who doesn't come in.
Well, and the fact that CNN says, well, we're not covering it. We're not like covering it wall to wall.
Right.
I imagine that's in part a political calculation by some of the other networks, because I think most people see this, and including Hispanic Americans, African Americans, and they say, gosh, how is this fair when all these other people have to, apply and spend money applying and do it the right way? I think it comes down just to basic sense of fairness, not that we're not compassionate.
Right, and I mean, also fairness, I hear Trump saying this, fairness to immigrants who do it the legal way, which is very difficult, but how about fairness to Americans? This illegal alien child molester is costing Utah taxpayers more than $1 million for his cancer treatments. More than $1 million. I'm sorry, that's money that should be going to an American cancer patient. He's sitting in jail and getting full, free cancer treatment. This obsession with not just the liberal media, but we really see it with the liberal media, with everything going on far, far, far away from us. We have troops all over the world. We have troops in Afghanistan, troops in Syria. We're not paying attention to what's happening right on our border. It's as if France in the late 30s became obsessed with Central America, and that's all we talked about. And no, we're not going to report on what's happening right next door in Germany. No one mentioned that. No, this is our problem, what's happening at the border. There's a reason that Americans, maybe Trump and his administration don't understand why the chants during his spectacular, miraculous campaign was build the wall, but the people making that chant had a reason for it. And that's so we don't have to go through this fighting over a caravan every 2 months. And, they slip through and, oh, well, what can we do? I mean, there's so many things the president can do besides build the wall himself. He is the commander-in-chief. We're building walls all over the world, just not to protect our country. The military can't really do anything standing on our side of the border. What are they going to do? Shoot the invaders?
No.
But they could invade. They could go in 10 yards into Mexico. We didn't ask for Iraq's approval to go in. We didn't ask for Afghanistan's approval to go in. This is actually, other than sitting on oil, most of these Middle Eastern countries, they're not going to kill Americans. Lots of Americans are being killed in drunk driving accidents, and killed or molested, and not to mention sucking up all these benefits like a child molester in Utah.
And none of the media outlets who are bemoaning and emoting over the caravan, embedded reporters, do many stories about those who've been victimized by illegal aliens in the United States, or criminals. And I want to play something for you. I'm sorry to torch you on a Friday night, but John Kasich was out there this week, and he's just, of course, Mr. Never Trump, but he's outraged that people wouldn't respond in a more compassionate way here. Let's watch.
It could easily have been all of us, that we're in the caravan, that we're marching north, trying to save our families and save our children. We've got to start putting ourselves in the shoes of other people. Let us reach out to those who have less, and let's stop putting up walls around ourselves and not understanding the plight, the trouble, and the problems of others. It is not right, and the Lord doesn't want it.
Well, the Lord didn't want him as the GOP nominee either. It's a shocking that he didn't win the nomination by putting the concerns of other nations before, the middle class, blue collar workers in the United States.
Yes, that's just what I was thinking as you were playing that. What a surprise, that guy didn't win. Look, Americans are very compassionate, but our compassion has worn thin. This is like a con man or a gypsy, appealing to us. Oh, the poor children. We have our own poor people. We need to protect our own country, our own citizens, which, sorry, Joe Scarborough, we're barely hanging on to majority white, so stop saying this is white against the brown throngs. That isn't what's going on. We have an obligation to our own citizens who have really given it the office.
All backgrounds.
Too long.
These people who are obsessed with color, the most racially obsessed people in the United States are coming from the left today. Because we're fighting for the American people of every background, every religion, every ethnicity, the American citizenry. And I want to play one quick thing for you. The truth sometimes slips out. A member of the invading horde, as a friend of mine here likes to say, admitted we do have some undesirables in the crowd. Let's watch.
Criminals is everywhere. Okay? It's criminals in here. Well, I mean, it is.
Then he said, but most of them aren't criminals. They're like, okay, at least he gave us that. I'll give him that.
Yeah, of course there are criminals in this crew, but even if there were no criminals, they are a mass of very, very poor people. What is a country other than the people who live in it? There are 7 billion people in the world? I'm sure they'd all love to come to, and they keep taking polls in other countries. Lots of them would like to move to the greatest superpower in the world, the greatest country, unless we give it away through immigration, with a massive welfare state. We have to draw the line someplace. So most Americans were saying, how about right now, about 20 years ago? We finally had a president who was saying, how about we put an end to it now? But he doesn't seem to be following through on it.
He's got to. He said he's not. He's going to close the border if necessary to these migrants and obviously 800 troops. But they're basically in a facilitator helping mode. But Ann, it's always great to have. It's always great to have you. Thanks so much.
There you have it right there. Like I said, I just wanted to use her perspective. Like I said, I'm not, none of these people are I'm not pro none of these people. I really don't give a fuck about none of these people. The Europeans as well. Let me see if I can find that other Bill O'Reilly when he talk about. Tell you how much they spend. It was actually this one. Let me see something. Yeah, the other one. I was looking for the other video he was talking. Let me see. Oh, hey, I think it was this one right here. Let me play this one.
A Scientology Network original series.
You have to stand up. And if you don't stand up, you have to ask.
They've called him racist, sexist, but they've never called Doug Casey wrong. Find out why at incorrectbook.com. Now, here's where the story really gets intense. In Guatemala, you got, let's say, 5,000 to 6,000 migrants. One bridge to get across to Mexico. One. It's a narrow bridge. Mexican authorities could have easily put up steel barriers on the bridge manned by the Mexican military, and no migrant could have crossed. If they jumped in the river or use rafts to come across, you saw those pictures on television, then they could have been immediately arrested by the Mexican federales. It is illegal to cross into Mexico without a valid passport or visa. Illegal. So those people that came across the river by swimming or rafting would have been incarcerated if the Mexicans followed their own law. So that could have been stopped easily by Mexico City. It wasn't. Did you hear any reporting on that? Did anybody ask Nieto, the president of Mexico, why he didn't put up barriers and why he didn't man that with the Mexican military? Anybody? Nobody. I don't even think President Trump knows.
I'm like, I'm gonna end this shit right here. But like I said, peoples, man, y'all gotta pretty much look at this shit for what you think it is, man, because we live in cities, man. We don't live down south where food is abundant. The more people they bring here, eventually this shit is gonna crash, okay? Eventually this system gonna crash because the system can't keep, like my man Michael Rupert said. He said a snake that eats his own tail will never be properly nourished. Okay, so basically saying that we gotta fund a lot of covert stuff to keep up this economy. Okay, so with that being said, people just look at this economy and then they just take it as, okay, they got enough jobs. You take it for every immigrant that come here, that's a job that another person who been living in this country can get. I just showed you the statistics. I showed you the unemployment. I showed you what black Americans been fighting for since Martin Luther King, for economical sustainability, and we still ain't got economical sustainability. So for all these people who come in here, they just come here and just look at it like, it's enough jobs for everybody. The reason they create these systems is basically, and then you have the so-called Democrats that's telling you, well, black people don't want to work these jobs. That's bullshit. I see black people working at fucking Wendy's. I see black people working at Dunkin' Donuts and all these other fast food chains, as well as I see black carpenters, black handymen. I see all of them. Black landscapers, all of that shit. You understand what I'm saying? But for the most part, we abandoned a lot of things. Yeah, we did. But at the end of the day, that still don't mean that you can just keep bringing people here. And then 7,000 people is a lot of motherfucking people, bro, to just be letting in the country at one time. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, you already got the Dreamers or whatever. And I had a video up there with Tucker Carlson that was talking about the Dreamers. Let me see something real quick. Maybe I might play that real quick. That was this video right here. Let me see. We know Tucker Carlson is a motherfucking racist. We already know that, okay? So don't hit me with the, oh man, you playing all this. Let me see. Hold up. This how they think. This how these people think. Yo, listen.
Thanks for having me on again, Tucker.
So, there may be things about this plan you don't like. There are definitely things that I don't like about it. But it's hard to see how a plan that gives legalization, amnesty, and a path to citizenship for more than 2 million people here legally, none of them white, is white supremacy. How does that work?
Well, I think we have to take a step back and look at this from the beginning. The reason why we're in this chaos situation of young people's lives being on the line is because the president rescinded DACA, the program that gave undocumented young people the ability to work and go to school and drive and pay taxes. He ended that program, and that is why we're in this situation. And let's make it clear.
Hold on. Since you want to do that, stop. No, I'm going to ask you a question.
So now it's my turn to speak.
I don't believe it is. I want to ask you a question about the discussion today, not about the roots of DACA, which I'm happy to debate with you in some other forum. I want to ask about the response today to this proposal released last night, which is that it's white supremacy. And I would like you to tell me if you believe it is, and if so, how. If you could give me a crisp answer and not filibuster, I'd appreciate it.
Listen, it was Donald Trump who ended the DACA program.
Good.
And he did so because because he wanted to hold hostage and use as bargaining chips the lives of 800,000 undocumented people who have been here their entire lives, who are American in every single way.
How?
And now what we're trying to do is to create a second-class citizen. Okay, that's what this program does. It says
so are you
that
not
the
going to
dreamers
answer
can
my
become.
question? This is giving people who are here illegally are getting amnesty and a path to citizenship, which is what you've been asking for, and you're calling that white supremacy. None of those people are white, so how is it white supremacy?
But at what price? I'm not calling it white supremacy. I don't think those words have come out of my mouth.
They've come out of the mouth of
I'm not calling it white supremacy.
ranking Democrat.
What I am saying is that this plan, what it does, it creates a second-class citizen because it says that the dreamers can become citizens themselves, but they cannot sponsor their parents. They cannot sponsor their siblings. And those rights are different than the rights that you have. And you just said earlier that this plan, the 2 million people, that none of them are white, which is untrue because there are undocumented white people. There are 50,000 undocumented Irish people living in New York City.
Sure. So there are. You're absolutely right. They're not covered by this. So that's my only point. You're absolutely right. There are definitely undocumented
there
white
are
immigrants.
Dreamers who are white, Tucker.
Oh, I'm sure there are, but
white
it's an intent.
dreamers in this
I absolutely believe you. It's an intent. Look, I don't care actually about
It's
the
a
race
fact.
of
You don't
the
have to
dreamers.
believe me. It's a
I
fact.
do believe you. My only point is that what you're seeing today is not an expression of white supremacy. So I wish you and your friends would stop making that point because it's a lie and it's divisive. That's my only point. And because it's not true. And it makes people hate each other. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It is a plan that would potentially make 2 million people who are mostly people of color have less rights than white citizens. So that is racist.
Okay, so it's racist too. So you come in the country illegally as you did. You have a moral right to let your relatives come to.
Look. See, look. See, look. See.
On a plane, on a tourist visa. So I did not come into this country.
Oh, I thought that you overstayed. I'm sorry, I totally misunderstood your bio.
I did overstay my visa, but I did not come into the
country. Okay.
Oh, you were here illegally. Okay.
So okay.
I guess that's what I just said.
See, you see, and you see what they do. Yo, listen, like I said, yo, I work around Hispanic people, and a lot of them are real cool. But when it comes down to this shit right here, they be playing this fucking system, this same system that our ancestors was lynched, murdered, and we had to sit here, and then they use the Civil Rights Act and all of the 14th Amendment and all of the stuff that caused us blood and caused us fucking people to be murdered. And like I said, man, the only reason I'm speaking on this shit because it's relevant. It's relevant. Somebody black need to start speaking upon this shit, man. Because it's too many of us. We just think it's white supremacy. It's beyond white supremacy. The white people, the one who let them come here. If they was so fucking racist, then why the fuck is they stopping them from coming? I mean, why is they allowing them to come here? But at some point in time, it's not racist when you gotta say, well, that's enough. Hold up, man. We don't let enough people come in here. Oh, you guys are racist. No. If anything, we should be the ones that's mad and saying, well, hold up, man. You guys letting these motherfuckers come here and you never took care of us or never gave us our motherfucking our fair share. And that's where I'm at right now with this shit, man. It's not the fact that I have any problem against these people, but for the most part, all I'm saying to you is that and you're going to bring people here, you need to take care of black America. I just showed you the homeless rate. I showed you the poverty line. I showed you the jobs. I showed you how we still being discriminated against jobs. I showed you all the statistics. I showed you that during during the Civil Rights Act or whatever, they created laws to bring these people here. You understand why? If you knew that Martin Luther King was making a poor people campaign, why would you bring more poor immigrants here? It's not like you bringing rich people from rich country. You bringing poor people from Africa, from Asia, from South America, and all these other countries. None of these people have a right to come, and they have a right to fix their fucking country where they at and deal with that shit there. None of your people died. None of your people is buried in the soil. None of you people had to deal with the shit we had to deal with. You understand what I'm saying? And this is our fucking land. And if anybody have a right to fucking say something, it's us. You can't sit here and say, well, because white people took the land, that gives you a right to come here too. No, it don't give you a right to stay where the fuck you at and build what you build. You didn't help build none of this shit here. But you want to come in and say, oh, America was built by immigrants. It was built by white immigrants and black people. and the majority of the shit was built by the black Aborigine Indian slaves that was captured that built this fucking system up. Because that's the people who they use. So we have a say so to say something. So don't never feel like you don't have a say so to say anything about these fucking people coming here. So with that being said, I'm gonna play a little bit more of this and then I'm out of here.
And the other point that you're missing here is that an 8-year-old, a 2-year-old cannot break the law.
And that's what they do. They come here illegal. They come here illegal, and they come here on a visa, and then overstay. And then what they do is they lay behind, they lay low, and then they pay for a U.S. because you got to pay for a U.S. citizenship. So if they pay for a U.S. citizenship and they do all this undermining illegal shit, and then they lock your dumb ass up for a vial of coke, and then you living in poverty. But at the same fucking token, that people who come into this country illegally is not being seen as the same. They not even seen as worse of criminals than the criminal system that they created for you to be impoverished, for you to have to sell drugs, and for you to have to do illegal activities. Okay, so let me play some more of this.
The parents who brought them to this country, right? So you're saying that the parents who brought them to this country now have a moral right to become citizens also, and I'm wondering where that right comes from.
Listen, if I am now a U.S. citizen, and if I want my mother to be able to come visit me and to be able to come be with me as a United States citizen, I should have that right. You have that
Look, it's a joke. This shit is a fucking joke. This whole system, this whole shit is a joke, yo. It's a fucking joke, yo. They need this shit. It's a joke. This shit is a joke.
That parent in the first place by bringing your child to illegally, but I have to, as a citizen, give you citizenship. How does that work exactly? No, but why should I be for that?
Going back to the point I was making at the beginning of the segment.
Look, it's a joke.
The reason we are in this situation is because the president ended DACA, and then he tasked Congress with coming up with a solution.
You want to have that debate, but let's talk about it.
But now we are you're not answering my question. Dreamer Lives should pay for a $5 million.
No. So you're saying if I sneak into someone else's country and bring my child, and the people of that country are kind enough to give that child citizenship, that I somehow deserve it too? Because why? Why? That's a simple question. Why don't you give me a simple answer?
I'm going to tell you why. The reason why is because if these people become United States citizens, as they would under this plan, they should have the rights of as every other American citizen.
And that's why he's trying to stop you from becoming one.
Then they should have the same rights as every other United States citizen.
Let me ask you really quick. So the ACLU described this as the supposed generosity of giving citizenship to people who are here illegally. Do you think it's generous of the United States to give citizenship to people who came here illegally? Do you think it's generous?
I think that we are trying to talk about two different things.
No, we're trying to talk about. I'm asking you a simple question. Do you think it's generous to give people who are here illegally citizenship?
I don't think that it's generous to separate families and create second-class citizens. No, I don't.
I don't know why we would bring in people who are not grateful for the privilege of being an American citizen. You're definitely in that category too.
But by the way,
okay, we're out of time. Thanks.
Sure.
And Coulter is a columnist and author of Adios America.
See how they feel? Like they feel like they're entitled to something. They ain't fight for nothing. They just feel like, oh, because white people came in and took this country, then because you took the country, we have a right to come in. They didn't build the infrastructure. They ain't built nothing. Their family ain't had to go through nothing. And that's one of my biggest things, man. And like I said, man, for the most part, man, I ain't with this shit at all. I don't care about none of this. I don't care about none of these immigrants coming here. They need to take care, like Martin Luther King said, we need to get our bag first, and you need to fight for your bag first and stop fighting for everybody else to come over and get your bag. So with that being said, man, if you like to support, I have a documentary coming out. It's called Culture Freedom. It's called Hidden Cultures of America, Black Indians who was already here. We're not Africans. If you like to support me, please send your donations to either my Cash App or my PayPal account. If you like to cop or support your boy endeavors in the Aboriginal gear, I also have my T-shirt Spring app. I can't display it If you go to a lot of other channels, you see how people have it displayed at the bottom of their channel. I can't do mine like that because my channel is not monetized, so I can't get the stuff that most people can get because they deny me from allowing my channel to be monetized. Why, I don't fucking know, but I guess it has something to do with because I'm dealing with the truth. So, and I'm coming a little bit more harder than some of the other brothers who doing this. So therefore, that's the reason why my channel is not monetized. So if you like to support me, send your boy some donations, PayPal account, Cash App, as well as send the donations for the documentary. So look, man, I got 140 people in here. Like I said, man, I don't see why 10 of y'all can't go. 100 out of 140 people, I don't see why 10 people can't go to my T-shirt spring account, cop yourself a nice T-shirt, or keep it moving. Or at least 5 or 6 people send a donation and hit the like button. Like I said, I'm not the person that tells people or demand people for donations, but I'm just looking at if it's 142 people watching it, why can't 5 or 6 people go donate towards this documentary? And like I said, shout out to brother who sent me the email. I'm going to be in touch with the with the people you propose as far as adding them to the documentary, man. Like I said, man, um Aborigines, man, these people owe you, man. And we sitting here, we giving away everything your ancestors fought for them to let them immigrants come here, man. Showed you the different statistics, showed you the Immigration Act in 1965, where at the same time where you was getting sprayed down with fucking fire hydrants and dogs was being sicked on you, they was proposing to bring immigrants here that ain't have none of that history here. These motherfuckers, they come here, they don't care about what happened to us. That's the reason they don't care. You think that, oh, they will care about what happened to you after seeing the shit that happened to you. They don't give a fuck about it, yo. So therefore, we need to get our bag as well, man. Same way these people being compensated, fuck a job. You people owe us land. We are home. We ain't leave nowhere. If anybody should have left and went to another country, it should have been us. But yet we still here. So with that being said, man, like I said, man, support your boy the Conscious One. Um, y'all keep watching out for the news. Don't be pro immigration, man. Come in here, man, because the more immigrants come in, that's going to be more hardware on this system. This system is not going to last for long. And you think this system crashed? Most of us live in cities, bro. We ain't living in farms where we can grow our own food no more. Okay, so what you think gonna happen? People gonna perish, man. So with that being said, man, like I said, man, I'm the conscious one, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Shout out to everybody who come through and support your boy. With that being said, yo, I'm out. Peace.